How to properly build back after an injury. The term that you could use for this is rehabilitation. And this is something that is a mindset I want to talk about, number one, but a mindset that I think it's really hard for a lot of folks to get their mind around properly. And what I mean by that is we've injured ourselves and we are going to rehabilitate ourselves in a way that hopefully brings us back to a strength and a stability and a capability that we once were, if not even better. A lot of times when you rehabilitate an injury, you come back even better, stronger, more stable, more dynamic, more explosive even. And in the process of doing that, you have different people that are surrounding you in your life and doing that. You have your doctor who cautions you to follow all the guidelines and they want you to go, at a slow pace and gradually and don't get too uncomfortable and let's make sure, and they caution you on all this because they don't want you to undo any of the work that they did, and they don't want your negative return because you were too aggressive with your rehabilitation to reflect badly on their statistics, okay? And I'm just being honest, like that's really where a lot of this comes in, is they'd rather ask you to do a little less and take a little bit more time than you really need. And in the long run, their finished product is you were a success. Then you have your physical therapist, and your therapist wants to help you get back just as badly as you do, and they want to be the ones that are like pushing you and helping you, and they're making you uncomfortable for the good things, and they're making you plug in your homework and like do the things that are going to help you get yourself back in record time. The average person takes 9 months, we're going to do it in 7. And like they want that drive, that commitment, that inspiration for you, and that's exactly what you want. And then you have your personal trainer or your strength coach who works well with the physical therapist, and they're both pretty much on the same level and the same mindset of getting you back as quick as you can, okay? Then you have your spouse or your significant other, and they want you to get back and they want you to do well, but they also kind of side with the doctor, and they're like, well, won't the doctor kind of know what's best? We don't want you to be too aggressive and you have a negative return, or you re-injure yourself and we have to start this whole thing all over. And then you have your parents, and your parents just don't want you to get hurt at all, and they want you to do the bare minimum, and why don't you just relax, and why do you always have to push yourself so hard, and yada, yada. So these are the different individuals in our lives and the different messages that we're being sent and the different support systems that we have. And so the question comes down to who's right? Who do you listen to? How aggressive should you be? How non-aggressive should you be? How much recovery should you take? How many days should you train? How hard should you push, etc.? And I don't know if I have the answer for you, but I have some answers for you, okay? Statistics, in my opinion, don't lie. And I want to go with whoever is being driven by the best statistics, the best averages, the best typicals, etc. And I like that because if the average or the typical person is doing it in blank, or they're experiencing and pursuing the following progressions and they were successful this amount of times or got back in this quick amount of time, then the majority of individuals who are doing that are hitting that if I am abnormal, right? If I am abnormal in terms of I like to push myself a little bit more, I do want to get back a little bit quicker. Like I personally am not enjoying not being able to train the way that I typically do. However, going through the process I'm going through is going to allow me to train at a better level, a greater level after. So I understand the process, and I understand that I can't be stupid right now and overdo it. But in the meantime, I don't want to go backwards, and I don't want to go too far backwards, and I sure as hell don't want to get to a point where I can't rebuild. Which, if I strictly listen to my doctors, no activity for 6 weeks, that to me is such a disservice and an injustice to say something like that. And they make a blanket statement, but they don't really tell you, like, what does that mean? Does that mean that I can't start walking? Oh, no, you can walk. Oh, okay. So after like 2 weeks, can I start to train my lower body? Oh, yeah, you can train your lower body. So what are we talking about? You're not really saying 6 weeks of no lifting. You're saying 6 weeks until I get back to doing exactly what I was doing the day before the surgery. Yes, okay. That's a different ballgame. Now say that to me, and that delivers a message to me of, oh, we have a weekly progression here that I am going to be able to build back to that point. But when you say don't lift anything until 6 weeks, in my mind, and in most people who are fitness enthusiasts, athletes, athletically minded, etc., they hear that and they think death sentence. They think you just took away air from my lungs for the next 6 weeks. We don't like being on the IR. We don't like being pulled out of the game. We don't like riding the pine. We don't like sitting on the shelf. We don't like it. We want to be in. We want to be training. We want to be uncomfortable. We want to be pushed. We want to be challenged. That is our mindset. So, for you spouses and parents out there, and you hear what I just said, you're asking me to be someone I'm not. You're asking me to do something that's not ingrained into me. I understand your concern. And trust me, I don't want to go backwards, and I don't enjoy being injured. So to think that I'm going to do something that throws myself at risk to make me injured where I go backwards again, I'm already frustrated being where I am. I don't want to go further back, right? So know that I'm doing all the best things. However, you can't ask me to do nothing. Okay, I am not built that way, and the majority of you that are nodding right now, you're not built that way either. And most of you that follow my channel and my content, I think we speak the same language. I think we feel the same way. We don't like being on the shelf. So there's a happy medium. And who is the person that knows that happy medium? It's your physical therapist, okay? Physical therapist is a combination of your doctor and your strength coach. And they kind of sit in the middle. And they also have the same intentions for a good, successful outcome for the doctor, because if they work well, the doctor will continue to refer and send people to them. So that's a win. They also want to do well by the client, because if they help you get back in record time and you're better than ever, that's a win. You refer people to them. They also want to please the parents and make sure that their children are well taken care of, and then they get them back and they're happy. And the physical therapist is on everybody's side, especially you, the client. But they're reading all the research, they're practicing all the best practices, but they're also doing it to the best of their ability. They are the tip of the spear. They are the ones that have found the best ways and the best strategies and the most aggressive and functional capacity, and they're merging those two things together. And that's where me, as a strength coach and a personal trainer, I want to listen to those people and go, oh, okay, you take the lead, you keep doing the research, you keep telling me how, and you guide me, okay, on how I get to work with my clientele. And then also as a customer, as a person who's rehabilitating, I'll listen and learn from this experience as well. So I really think that is the key to this whole thing, is the mindset. But I wanted to lay it out in a way where everybody that's involved, you get to see it from everyone's point of view. And I'm not meaning to have it sound like a negative from any point of view. Everyone wants what's best for the individual involved, the doctor, the therapist, the personal trainer, the coach, the parents, the spouse. Everybody wants that person to get better, and they don't want them to be hurt anymore. But I also want you to understand, where is that person coming from? Where is their mindset? And why is it so hard for that individual to just sit down and relax and allow the rehabilitation process to take place? It's because it's not ingrained in us to do that. Our DNA says get up and move, be busy, be active. If it's an obsessive mindset to dive into research, to business, to training, to outdoor activities, to whatever it is, It's just not ingrained in us to just sit and relax, for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Like, we'll go mad. And my brain has always worked this way, even though my physical ability and body has fluctuated quite a bit. But when I am in better shape, it's even harder to sit down because I don't want to lose it. I don't want to go backwards. And it's hard for me on a day-by-day basis to see things slowly start to slip away. And unfortunately, after 10 days, I could see it. And after 14 days, I could really see it. And luckily, at 14 days, at 10 days, I was cleared to start doing something, and that helped a ton. And then at 14 days, I was cleared to do a lot more. And now I feel like I'm back into it here a little bit, and like I can feel like I've trained the last 2 days. Mentally, so much better for me. Okay, so much better. So now you get a little idea of what the rehabilitation process, the injury process, and the mindset that goes into it, and kind of knowing where everybody's coming from, what we're all dealing with, where we're sending our energies and our inputs, and the whys and the hows that come about it. I think the key person in this whole thing is your physical therapist. It's your Dan McLean, okay? It's your Lisa McLean. It's your physical therapist, your person that you trust, you have your faith in, and you know they're the best individual that you could possibly be in front of, the most educated, the most practical, but also willing to step into the fire with you, right? They're willing to step into this and go, let's push, let's get you better, but let's be really smart about it. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope this enlightened a little bit. If you have questions or comments, feel free to post down below. And if you head over to trainingtheolderadult.com, check out more information we put out. Always hit subscribe, ring that little bell. You can see any other content that we put up on a weekly basis. We appreciate you. We hope you're all doing well. We love you. We'll see you next time. Take care.